Alright, let's start by asking you what is your name?
Yeah, hey, name is Dung Thai. I'm a real estate investor. Been doing this for almost 3 years now. You
Right?
know,
And could you tell me about your journey, how you became to become a real estate investor?
yeah, it is a long journey indeed. Um, when I first started out, I bought my first rental property back in 2018. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I literally we just sold a house in Queens, in New York, got the money, and all of us just split the money, and then and then two of us put the money together, bought a house in Long Island, all cash. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, we have the house all cash, but we're not producing anything, so maybe it's time to own real estate. So in 2018, I cashed out, refinanced my house. The house we bought all cash. I didn't know what I was doing, but I know that if I hold rental long term, it'll give me some gold, you know what I'm saying, some asset. So I knew the rental route real estate was the reason why I wanted to do real estate. So we cashed out, refinanced our house, bought the house, and then I lost my job. 2 months later, UPS. I was working for that company 5 years. I was a supervisor making, 80, 84K a year. I thought I was set, you know what I'm saying? I knew, I had my rental property, the two tenants paying my rent. I didn't cash flow much, but I have a property. I was so excited, and then I lost my job, and that was the worst time of my life.
How'd you overcome that challenge?
It it was rough. I still remember the date, December 21st, 2018. That was the date that my manager, my division manager, and HR got me in the office. And they told me I overspent on the budget and I was unauthorized to use the money to buy the tools of a mechanic.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they fired me.
It was obviously an accident.
No, it wasn't an accident. It was intentional. They were intentionally trying to fire me.
Well, yeah, well, what I'm saying is you accidentally messed up the budget or something.
No, I
They
didn't
wanted.
accidentally. I knew what I was doing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was I was trying to reward my employee for doing a
Oh,
good job. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
They don't like that in capitalistic societies.
Ah, no, really. We were they because I was bumping head with my manager anyways.
Yeah.
Lead up to that because he respect me enough. He knows a decision I make, or a very effective decision. But I was so passionate with the job. I was, your typical, you know, just over broke worker. Job, your typical just over broke worker.
Like paycheck to paycheck type situation.
No, I was the best worker I
Oh
can
yeah.
be.
Okay.
I was trying to be the best worker that is. Culturally,
Hardest worker in the building.
yeah, in the Asian culture, you want to be the best worker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my culture. And
And 2018 is the same year that you decided to invest in yourself with the property, and you lost your job at the same time.
same time.
So that was a struggle. Did you feel like you made the wrong decision, or was it just timing? Obviously, you don't now because you know, doing
No,
good.
buying that house was a bad decision. Period. That rental property, it didn't cash flow. I was lucky that the tenants paid the rent on time.
Right.
To pay off the mortgage because I didn't. I'm probably gonna make like $200 a month out of that thing.
Yeah.
It was a terrible investment.
Right. Right.
Putting $200,000 and making $200 a month.
Didn't equal
It didn't equal anything.
200K to $200.
Yeah, 200K invested and make only $200 cash flow after everything. It was terrible investment.
So after you lost the job, for working too hard and trying to help out everybody else, right? Basically, what did you do next? You just went full force in the real estate.
No, I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was depressed. I'll never forget Christmas. We don't celebrate Christmas, but it's just Christmas. I see my niece and my nephew open up gifts and everything. And I gave them some gift, but I seen that the whole family's all cheerful, and I'm only in my depressed state.
Right.
So I just want to cheer it up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But my whole family knew what was going on. They see in my face. So I was depressed from the end of December, Christmas, New Year's, till like the middle of January, to January 2019, January 20th. That was when I was watching YouTube, okay? Middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning. And I saw, a guy named Phil Pusiowski. He was a YouTube guy talking about buying real estate without money down.
Yeah, I remember you was telling me about him.
Yep, I watch it, and then I'm like, you know what? This looks legit.
That was the mentorship that you were telling me about.
Yeah, the Freedom Mentor.
Which is, really important as far as almost like a first step that you need if you want to become a real estate investor or any kind of, professional.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you need a mentor, right?
No, because I was thinking to myself like this. It's not even that I need a mentor. It's just I needed guidance.
Right.
I needed to know, if I'm going to go into this real estate, I need somebody to teach me.
Right. The most important thing that I heard too, though, was how you got out of the depression. How specifically did you get out of your depression? Because I deal with depression. I think everybody does in their own way. My depression comes from my brother passing away and, the situation with my mother right now. But for you, how did you go from December to like January? And I mean, other than like, I'm sure your family and stuff like that. But,
it never go away.
Yeah.
I'll tell you honestly, it'll never go away. It's how you cope with it, right? How you deal with it and how you go away. Because getting rid of depression is like probably a myth that people don't understand. Right? It will always come back to you, right? It's up to you to decide, hey, do I want to deal with it now, right? And give into it, or there's something better I could do, right?
Right. I know for me, as far as being an alcoholic and a recovering alcoholic, it's the same thing. It never goes away.
It never goes away. It will never go away. Yeah. It's how you cope with it and how you deal with it, right? That makes the difference. You can either give in, or you can move on, right? And you can tell, listen, this is not going to stop me. I got something better to do today. And that was in my mindset all the time, right? So when I joined the program, right, doubt hit my head right away, right? They're like, Dung, you're going to join a program that's going to cost you 25 grand that you don't have. You're going to put it on a credit card, right? You max out that credit card. What are you going to do if you fail, right? It's seeping right away. Right after I pay, doubt hit my head right away, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, right? Yeah, it's just like, you're like this. What are you going to do? You don't have a job? How are you going to pay 2 mortgages? Because I got the investment mortgage, which is a tenant paying, right? In our own place, because I cash out refinance, remember? And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, either you can cancel it now, we get your refund, and start at square one, not doing anything with your life again, and we feel sorry for yourself, or you take the leap forward, a blind leap of faith, and see what happens, right? So I make the blind leap of faith. I'm like, even if this program doesn't work out, I will know something more about real estate. Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
You told me last time we talked that self-doubt and self-sabotage were probably the two worst things that you can encounter.
Your worst enemy.
Yeah,
your shadow.
Is yourself.
Basically. Your shadow is your own worst enemy. Yeah.
And in 2018, when you lost the job and you started to invest in real estate, how old were you then?
2018. That's like what? I was 33.
33.
Yeah.
Right. And we talked before, also, and you said that if you could go back, you wouldn't change anything necessarily.
Nothing.
But you would have started this journey a little sooner. Maybe not, at 33. But I also remember you saying that maybe at a younger age, you wouldn't have had the attention or the drive to want to do it as well.
Yep.
So with that said, I think that the moral would probably be that, there's a timing for everything,
Everything happened for a reason.
Exactly. Sometimes you're not ready at that time. Maybe another year or two when you're ready.
Yeah.
Because I know for me, when I was going through alcoholic abuse and everything and addiction, that, when I was in my 20s, it wasn't the right time to get sober.
Never.
Because I just couldn't,
Yep.
You know what I mean? But when I got to my 30s, I was like, wait, I think I should make a change. Well, back with that. So now you are how old?
I'm 36.
And for just the interview, it's September the 8th,
Yeah.
2021, right?
Yep.
All right, and oh yeah, about your real estate investment, you do not need a license to do real estate investment, right? Let's make that clear.
Correct.
Because that was one of the things that I was curious about, because I know my mom, she has a broker's license and a real estate license, but you do not need a real estate license to be a real estate investor.
Investors, yep.
Yeah. For anybody that's watching that was, concerned or curious, such as myself.
Yeah, there you go.
And like I said, we talked about internships, availability, but you mentioned that the mentorship was kind of like the first step. After the mentorship, what did you jump into then? Like, what did the mentorship teach you to do first,
Mindset. Was
Change
literally
mindset.
changing my mindset. It opened my eyes to realize that it's okay for you to fail. It's okay for you to make all those mistakes you make in the past. It's okay for you to accept that you're a failure. Because now you have room to grow. Because you realize, hey, listen, I've been fucked up all my life, but now it's my chance to improve on it.
Yeah.
Because I accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that goes back to saying, like, what your own worst enemy is yourself.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of
because
with that.
I've realized it, and I never forget this line when I talked. I came back the next day after they fired me, trying to get my job back. Right? Embarrassing as it is,
Right.
I grind my teeth and go in there and just beg.
Sucked it up and said, let's do it.
They say, hey, take me back. And the division manager would say the word I never forget to this day. He's like, Dung, you're a smart guy. You did all this work without even us knowing. Right?
Yeah.
You're not meant for this. You're meant for something else.
Right.
And I will never forget that word.
It's funny that you said that, because I had a CEO at the jail over here in Las Vegas say the same thing.
Yeah.
We were in the kitchen, because I worked in the kitchen, and he told me the same thing. He pulled me to the side, and we talked about my mom and my dad and my situation, my family life, and he said, you know what, you shouldn't be here. There's something better for you, you know what I mean? So
no, he didn't say something better. You're meant for something else.
Yeah, exactly. You're
meant
for better stuff than
you're meant for something else. And I will never forget that line.
Yep.
Now, reflecting back, I should give him a birthday cake, whatever. I should buy him something with Christmas. Cause I will never forget the line he said.
That goes back to what you said previously when we spoke. I think it was September 20th, 2000. Not September 20th, my bad. It was July 20th, 2021.
Yeah.
You said embrace the challenge,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and that goes back with what you said. If you fail, you gotta try again. Embrace the challenge.
No, because even you fail, you learn something from it.
Definitely.
Always take away the lesson, right? Everything that you do is not gonna be perfect.
Right.
There will never be a perfect step.
No.
Whoever told you that is lying out their fucking ass.
Right.
Excuse my language, but yeah, you gotta understand, right? There is no perfect step. Everybody can give you feedback and guidance, but their experience is different from your experience.
Right.
Their mindset, right, is different from your mindset.
Of course.
Granted, you have the same foundation. You know what I'm saying? The daring mindset, right? But what you branch out from there is different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Also, you talked about the ways in which you can buy or purchase a house, for real estate investment. You talked a little bit about owner financing and wholesaling.
Mm-hmm.
Could you tell me the differences between those two things?
Yeah. Wholesaling is when you get a property under contract, right? And then you went out and you look for another buyer to buy your interest in that property, your contract.
Right.
Right? That's wholesaling. You find a piece of property, you lock it up in a contract, right? And then you find another buyer.
Take it off your hands.
You take it off your hand for a fee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's very lucrative sometimes.
Right.
And here's the real wholesaling. It's very competitive. There's a lot of backstabbing, right? Because you got, because there's buy out there. He's like, you're buying this property for 150, you're selling me for 180. You're making 30. Why do I have to pay you 130 when I could pay? Why do I pay you 180 when I could pay 150 with the seller?
And is the reason why it's a little bit more cutthroat because there's no real estate licenses and because there's no fiduciary right to the client or anything like that? It's because people are trying to make money here, right?
Yeah, no, even the real estate agent was the same thing happened.
Right, right.
You don't get it, you don't understand. Agent cut each other off
Oh,
for
I
that.
know. Yeah,
They go behind each other back.
Yeah, she's been in
So
the business a long time, and I've seen a lot of shady dealings. with
Yeah.
people.
So even with a license
Right.
doesn't mean you have your fiduciary the license bull crap.
all
You
that
know what I'm saying?
stuff, yeah. And you're paying
No,
dues and stuff.
but it's just the real world,
Right.
right? You have to understand.
Dog eat dog.
Yeah, it is. But if you know what you're doing, right, you don't have to worry about that, right? So that's basically wholesaling, right?
Wholesaling. Owner finance.
Owner financing is when you tell the seller, you ask the seller when they own the house free and clear, that they become your bank. Because when you buy a property, there's two things you gotta have, right? Either you buy it cash or you get a loan. If you buy it cash, you're on title and you don't have any lien. You buy with a loan, the bank put a lien on it. So they're gonna put the lien on the house. You own the property, but they own the mortgage.
Right.
So you have to pay that mortgage. You don't pay that mortgage, they can foreclose and take the house from you. So with owner financing is, you tell the seller, hey, sell me the property, you become my bank.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm on title, and they're the bank. And the best thing about owner financing is you can negotiate the terms any way you want. You can't do that with a bank. If the interest rate is 3.0, you can't negotiate the 1.0. With a seller, you can negotiate 0% interest, and 0% down.
Or $1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or something.
Can you imagine buying a $300,000 house and paying only $2,000?
Yeah, I've seen it happen before.
I do it on a daily basis.
I know, right?
Right?
Seen it happen before.
So
and it surprised me the first time. That's why it interests me, and the two different ways, and on procuring a house. You know what I mean? And which one do you prefer over the other?
what do you think? Right?
I guess owner financing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Wholesaling is good.
Yeah.
It make the quick cash, but what you want long term is the wealth.
Right.
Yeah, you want the whole property long term for wealth, because of tax depreciation, right? Deductibles, cash flow, and, you get a lot more incentive, and property appreciate over time.
Right.
Everybody needs a house to live in,
Yeah.
right?
Whatever, man.
And
that's
and
another
rents
reason-
only go up.
Right. And that's another reason why I'm doing this, is because I'm going to also interview other people that don't have a house.
Yeah.
And maybe they can learn something from these videos to maybe be able to get one or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just more information out there for the public,
Yeah.
I asked you before what's the biggest challenges, and you said it was yourself. And I completely agree with that, so we're going to skip over that one, because I agree. It's yourself. Anything. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be,
Yeah.
work as a trash man. Getting up every day is the hardest part.
Yo, that's the most important thing in this interview, actually. I want to focus on that more, because people don't understand is, when you look yourself in the mirror, right, what do you see, right?
Right.
People always see themselves as somebody who doesn't know anything. You know what I'm saying? But they underestimate themselves, because they have to realize, hey, listen, there's a lot of things I can learn here if I just put my mind through it. Right? But they get distracted by this, distracted by that, distracted by fear, distracted by their colleague negativity, right? Pessimism come in. Their parents, don't know the culture, don't know the thing, not being supportive.
Yeah,
and they let them get to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I started that business, the real estate business, back in 2018, everybody was doubting me.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody thought you weren't gonna do good.
Nobody believed me that you could buy a house without money down.
Right.
Nobody believed me. You could buy a house, a $353,000 house with $6,000 in my pocket. Actually, it was $3,000 on my pocket, not even $6,000. It was $3,000. I had a seller, owner finance, $353,000. I held it for 3 months, and I sold it for $425,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dad was like, it was a wake-up call for him.
Right.
He was like, nobody buy a house like that. It's a scam. Don't get in the program. Go get a regular job and just pay your mortgage, and be a good worker again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I had that doubt. I had
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. I had my brothers, telling me, mother telling me this. The only doubt, the only thing that I never had, right, was that shadow keeping me down.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? I told myself, if I put my mind through it, I'll do it. And I'll never forget the day where I'll be like, you know what? Just keep going at it. Don't care what the words say. I don't care what's going to happen. If you keep chugging at it, keep grinding, you will succeed.
Yeah.
And I grind. I can't tell you the nights where I don't sleep. I'll be like, fuck, I can't sleep because there's so many stuff in my head. You know what I'm saying? So many things I got to do. And why is the seller not calling me back? Is somebody trying to steal my deal? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All that in your head, right? I kept me busy, but there was never a moment where I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. You know what I'm saying? Or this is too hard. Or, maybe I'm meant for something else.
Right.
Yes? Or just give up and get a regular job. None of that ever into my head. Because
I remember last time I interviewed you, this part of the interview was a big part of the interview over the phone as well.
yeah,
Because you even said when I asked you, what may have been your backup plan, you said I didn't have no backup plan.
none.
There was no second option.
There's no second option.
And that's a very important thing to say because a lot of people will always have their backup plan waiting. But I've heard in most people's stories that become successful is that they don't have a backup plan. And they know that this is going to work and they try it and they do it until it works.
Yeah. You do it till it works. Because you know why? You believe in yourself.
Right.
And that's the most important thing. Right?
If you don't, then how do you expect anybody else to anyway? And you already know they're probably not going to.
They're not going to believe me until I show my proof of work.
Right. Exactly.
So now when I talk about real estate, everybody shut the hell up.
They want to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, because they know I don't bullshit anymore. Before I was talking about real estate, everybody's turned their ear no way. They're like, yeah, here you go again, buying something with no money. You know what I'm saying? Now I told my dad I'm getting my 9th rental property, and he's like, oh, wow. He's like, yeah. He's like, whoa, what else?
Congratulations.
Yeah, he can't say anything anymore because he
So
realized
you
it.
have 9 as of right now? Well, that was one of my questions. So it wasn't specifically how many, but the question was, what is your greatest accomplishment? And I think 9 properties is a pretty good accomplishment.
My greatest accomplishment was getting over that depression.
Well, I know you told me the greatest accomplishment was before. You told me, it was just proving yourself right too. You know what I mean? That you knew you could do it. Everybody else not so much, but you knew, and when you did it, and now that you're doing it, it's probably one of the best feelings in the world because you knew you could do it. You had confidence. You bet on yourself. In 2018, when you spent $200K and then lost your job shortly after that, it was a risky bet. But sometimes you
wouldn't even know. Now you remind me that something else happened. So when I catch a refund, I had 366K, right? I spent 230 something thousand to the house, fixing it up, and everything, get rented out, make $200 a month. I had 107 over, right? My brother and my sister bought another house, and they bought my money. You get what I'm saying?
So you had less money.
I had no money anymore. That's why I had no more money left. I gave them the money, and then their deal fell apart because they started fighting each other, and then I had to tell my sister to sell it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going through all this stress, with all this family drama going on, and I got my own business going on. I'm trying to run my real estate business. So there was a lot passing through my head. You know what I'm saying? But there was never a moment where, even though it's too much, they say, oh, it's too much. I can't handle this. I'm going crazy. Let me run away. That was never an option because I had my family dependent on me, right? My what do you call that? My assistant I hired depend on me. Right. I have a lot of responsibility. Yeah, my employee, my responsibility. So yeah. So my greatest accomplishment is overcoming my own fear.
Definitely. And basically, I wanted to know also if you could go back in time, like we said before, and tell yourself anything. What would you tell your younger self, or even not even yourself? Let's say if it was a younger kid and there was 100 kids in here, what would you tell the younger generation
I think you know my answer to that question.
Yeah, you told it to me last time. But you know,
Believe in
yeah,
yourself.
believe in yourself, never give up.
Yeah,
Basically, you
believe in yourself even when all else
right.
fails.
No matter where you came from, how you got there, just believe
Yeah,
in
just believe in
yourself.
yourself and do it because you'll be surprised in any business, the sticking point is actually the hardest thing to do
Yeah,
because everybody gets distracted so easily
right.
by the glamour, everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like doing wholesaling, and then you're like, oh, I can wholesale commercial property,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know shit about commercial property. You know what I'm saying? You know residential. Stick to what you're good at.
Right, right.
Stick to it till you're best at it, and then move on. You know?
Yeah, and that's proving yourself, proving to yourself that you can do it. That was one of the main things that I wrote down
Yeah.
last time we talked. So, with that said, is there anything else that you would like us to know about you and your company? You give your company shout out, like I said, or whatever you want.
Yeah,
I may put this on YouTube, and I may just show it to West Care and community people and stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, my advice to anybody who wants to start a business, right? Start any venture, right? Is don't overthink it, right? If you think you can do it, do it. You're gonna fail. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna fail. But you know what? That failure teach you a lesson. That failure will make you better, because now you know what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has the answer to everything. Even my mentor, he let me fail in front of him. He realized that I need to learn these lessons on my own. He could give me the answer. You know what I'm saying? But if he could give me the answer, I wouldn't become who I am today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So embrace that failure. You know what I'm saying? Grind through it, because that failure is giving you room to grow. Without failure, you won't grow. Just imagine that. Remember that, right? Failure is the mother of success. Without failure, you won't breed success.
Sounds good. Thank you to you, Dung Thai,
Yeah.
at Young Buyer LLC.
The
If
Young
anybody
Buyer
would
LLC,
like to
yeah.
contact Dung Thai,
Yeah.
it's the Young Buyer
Yeah.
LLC. And you are based in like New York,
New
right now?
York, New York, yep. You,
Right.
you go to my website, www.theyoungbuyer.com. You know, you
Right.
want to, yeah?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
No
And
problem.
maybe we'll do a follow up in the near future.
Yeah.
Or I'll come to New York or something like
There
that.
you go. You come to New York, I show you around.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.